Hello everyone, welcome to finmanac.com. In this series of lectures, we'll be learning about set theory and the basics of that. In the future classes, we'll learn about the maxima minima concept of set theory, which is used in most of the competitive examination. As you might see, a diagram that I have put here, which is a three-set problem. I have set A, set B and set C. The set can represent anything. For example, I could say that A belongs to those people who have taken mathematics exam only, B belongs to those who takes physics, and C belongs to those who takes chemistry. Now if you see the shaded portion or the area which is exclusively for A is called as only A, which means those people who are taking the test only for mathematics, and only B represents the area which is only for physics, and only C represents the area which is only for chemistry. Now I also marked A and B, which is those people who are taking maths and physics but not chemistry. So B and C represents in similar way those people who are taking physics and chemistry but not mathematics. Similarly, A and C represents those people who are taking mathematics and chemistry but not physics, and A, B and C represents those who take all the three. Now let's define a formula which forms the fundamental of every single problem with respect to set theory for three sets. I have defined A union B union C, which means those people who are taking any one of the test, maths, physics or chemistry. This is defined as the number of people who are taking A, B, this physics, maths, physics and chemistry, minus those people who are taking maths and physics, minus those people who are taking physics and chemistry, minus those people who are taking physics and maths, or rather chemistry and maths, and the intersection of all the three, which is maths, physics and chemistry. What does it mean? It simply means that I am taking the set n of A, which means all those who have taken mathematics, which is a complete set which I marked in pink, would be represented by n of A. Similarly, when I say n of B, which is all the area which is marked in blue, n of C, which is all the area which is marked in C. But since we are double counting the portion which is common between any two sets, I have to eliminate that by saying minus of n of A intersection B, minus of n of A B intersection C, and minus of n of A intersection C. But again, we would be leaving out this particular portion, which is the center portion, common or intersection of all the three elements. That's why we added it back again. So with this understanding, we'll try and see certain interpretation of the statements that you might come across in the problems. They might say find out those tests which is exactly one. So which means those people who have taken the either maths or physics or chemistry but only one of them. So this is what it means: area pertaining to only one set but without an overlap. It includes, says, only A, only B or only C. At least one is a slightly different thing, which is all the three sets combined together is what it means. So in a way, I can say that A union B union C is something to do with at least one. I have taken all one cases, two cases as well as three, which means people of taking one examination only, people of taking two examination only, and people of taking all the three examinations. You put together, that will be at least one. This simply means at least one is combination of 1 plus 2 plus 3. It is because at least one covers all the three areas. Exactly 2 is those people are taking exactly 2 examination. That is why I have represented as all the common area between the two sets but not the third. I should not be taking the third set here at all. So if you see, the common area which encompasses exactly 2 will include A and B, B and C, and A and C. At least 2 will include all what we saw in the previous case plus the one which is n of A intersection B intersection C. This portion which is left out in exactly 2 should be added here, and that is the difference between at least and exactly. If you see, I have marked any or all as an important parameter here whenever it comes to at least, the word at least. So that is essential for you to understand. Why? Because when I say at least one, it includes 1, it includes 1 and 2, and includes 1 and 2 and 3 as well. Right, let's go to exactly 3. That's very simple. That's a common area, which is A, B and C. Right, I hope you understood the basics of a 3-set problem. Let's go ahead and solve one of the questions that was asked in CAT 2003, and it's a little complicated problem at the first go, but I think you are all set for doing this question with the basics that you have just seen. So I'll just read the question once for you. You might want to just stop by and try it on your own. A survey on a sample of 25 new cars being sold out at a local auto dealer was conducted to see which of the 3 popular options, air conditioning, radio or power windows, were already installed. They found that 15 had air conditioning, 2 had air conditioning and power windows but no radios, 12 had radios, 6 had air conditioning and radio but no power window, 11 had power windows, 4 had radio and power windows, 3 had all the 3 options. What is the number of cars that had none of the options? If I had asked you what is the number of cars which had all the 3, it's simply the portion that is G. It becomes easy to visualize this problem if I have marked this area as what I have done here. I have marked 3 sets: radio, air conditioning and power windows. Among that, I have also marked the individual areas. You might see that A, B and C represents the area which is only A, only B and only C. D represents those which is belonging to radio and air conditioning but not power windows. E says that air conditioning and power windows but not radio. F says radio and power windows but not air conditioning. And G says the area which is air conditioning, radio and power windows. So with this basic understanding, let's go ahead and attempt to interpret what is given in the problem. So let's find out the first statement. It said that 15 had air conditioning, which means that is a set which I am having separately for air conditioning, which involves B plus D plus G plus E. Similarly, the second statement says 2 had air conditioning and power windows but no radio. So what will be the area that I have? Air conditioning and power windows but no radio will be the portion which is E. That is why I marked E to be 2. And then we have the next statement which says 12 had radio, which means I'm looking at this set in which I'm having the entire portion of the radio to be marked. So that will involve A plus D plus G plus F. That's the reason why I've written A plus D plus G plus F, which is 12. And D, which is 6. That is, the representation is given with a statement which 6 had air conditioning and radio but no power windows. So air conditioning and radio but no power windows is the area D. That's why I marked it to be D. And I have E plus F plus G plus C, which is 11, which is given by the statement 11 had power windows, which is the last set which we have to see, F plus G plus E plus F, E plus C, I'm sorry. So that is equal to 11. Then I have the last 2 statements. Before the last statement, let's interpret the final statement, which is 3 had all the 3 options, which is G is equal to 3. And 4 had radio and power windows. 4 had radio and power windows. Now you have to be a little careful in this. It never said that it does not include air conditioning. So radio and power windows common area is F and G. So F plus G is 4. And now we are set to solve this problem on the whole. What I've been asked is, what is the number of cars that had none of these options? So I need to find out from the total 25 how many of them do not actually fall into this. So I need to simply find out the value of A plus, let me write it down here so that you can understand it. It is A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G. Now how do I find the value of all this? We know the value of G to be 3, okay, and then we know F plus G is 4, right? We know F plus G plus E plus C is equal to 11. So I need to find out A, B and D. I can find out the value of A very easily, and I also can find out the value of D, because A plus, I have from this equation, I have A plus D plus G plus F is 12. So I can find out A plus D should be equal to A plus D plus F plus G minus that of F plus G. So let me write this down for you. I have to find out A plus D, that should be equal to 12 minus the value of F plus G, which is 4. So I can find out the value of A plus D, and the remaining portion is already here. And if you see this, so I can just substitute instead of F plus G as 4, and instead of A plus D as again 8, I'll strike off A as well. So what we are left with is E plus B plus C. So we know the value of, we can find out the value of E, that is already given in the problem, that is equal to 2. So we need to only find out the value of B plus C. We can find out the value of B quite easily, because the total of the set that is given here for air conditioning is 15. So we have the value of E as 2 and G as 3. So this is 10, this is 5 in itself. So D plus B would be, D is 6, so 6 plus, so I can find out the value of B simply here by substituting 6 here. F and G, the value could be 5, so I am having a value of 11. So the value of B is 4, so I can substitute the value of B to be 4 here, and all I need is a value of C, which I can find it from this equation. I have E plus F plus C, which is 11, which I need to remove it from here, because E is 2 plus F plus G is going to be 4, so C will become 5. So I can put it over here. So I have solved for all the variables that are here. I have taken the longest route for solving this. There are multiple ways of solving it, because all I need is, if you think about it, I need to find out the set plus B plus E plus C. So I have E, all I need to find out is B and C. So you can try this example in a very smart way. If you know for sure the diagram, it makes sense for you. So I have got this value here, which is 9 plus 13, 9 plus 14, which is 22. So the remaining would be, out of 25, there are 3 cars which is not having any of the option, so I can mark the option B as 3. Let me mark that, and we will end this class here and come back and find out what is the concept of maxima minima, and we'll try and solve more questions of this type in set theory, which will help us understand the concept of 3 set theory, which is very critical in any competitive examination. Thanks a lot for listening. I hope this video helped you in understanding the basics of set.